Low yan, low yan.
Yes, hello. Good evening. Eh, sinong mga dyan? Nandyan pa rin yung ating mga suking. Laging nandito. Magandang gabi, kababayan. Taga saan ba si Chel? Chel David. Davide? Davide malamang yan. Mukhang ano eh. Mukhang pang Chief Justice. May mga nandito. Si Shirley. Bago si Shirley. Hello, Shirley. And good evening from California. Hi. Mildred Manuel. You must be in San Francisco. James Balmaceda. Great hold music out as usual. Maglagay tayo ng ano. Maglagay tayo ng best para hindi tayo boring. Si Attorney Ahmed ay merong konting emergency. He's already actually here. I can put him in the stream. Yeah. But wala siyang video dahil siya ay biglang napasugod sa ospital. Hey, what's going on? What's in the hospital? Okay, a dog hospital. Bakit dog hospital? Yung kanyang aso doon na iniwanan. Sinahan natin yung konti. Napoging-poging si Cerberus. Alam niyo yung pangalan Cerberus? Yung Cerberus ay pangalan ng babantay ng area ng ating dilim at maapoy na alam niyo na. Sabi niya siya si Satanas, di ba? Hey, good evening from Taiwan. Good evening from Dublin. Ba meron mga ano dyan? Leprechaun? CDO, Cagayan de Oro. Bakit ba natin pag-uusapan si Walden Bello ngayong gabi? Why? Teka, saan ba tayo? Here, good. Okay. Maureen. Hello. Ang topic natin ngayon ay, edit ko lang. Si Walden Bellew. Bakit ba siya biglang sumulpot ngayon? Natabunan ng asukal yung kanyang issue. Biglang nawala sa ere. Pero masugid na sumusubaybay pala itong isang reporter sa kanya. Ano pangalan nito reporter na to? Hindi na natin babanggitin kasi sisikat pa siya lalo. Meron pala siyang hinain sa araw na ito. Okay? And yung kanyang hinain, bakit ba ito salita? Patayin nga natin mo. Ay isang motion. Motion for what? Motion to anong tawag nito? Motion daw para ipagpaliban ang kanyang hearing. Okay, what happened to Cerberus? Nasugat daw yung paa, dumudugo ng malakas at hindi po tumitigil, sabi ni attorney. At hindi nila alam kung anong nangyari. Kaya, yun, takbo sa ospital. Mabati po sa mga magulang ko na nasa CBO. Yes, hello, good evening nanay, tatay. Magayang gabi sa inyo diha, mga taga Oro, mga guwapo. Ang bilis mo, sumupo ng chocolate. Hindi ito chocolate, ito ay, naalala niyo pa ba to? O, nakakita kasi ako dun sa may tindahan kanina, kaya medyo late din ako napauwi dito. Sino pa nakakakilala nito? Kilala niyo to. Malamang wala to sa Amerika, meron ba? Oflex. Bitter siya, kailangan ng sugar. Nabasa niyo ba yung mapait na kwento ng asukal? Okay. Anyway, nasan ba yan? Subukan natin buksan ha. At i-share sa inyo para makita niyo yung ating pinakabagong saan ito punta? New files, wandang kaali. Okay, one more up. Subukan natin buksan kasi mahalaga to dahil after this kasi hindi na natin pwedeng pag-usapan yung kanyang kaso. Magkakaroon tayo ng problema sa subjudice. So habang hindi pa siya na-arraign, okay, hindi pa siya nakapag-enter ng kanyang plea. siya ay maaari pa natin pag-usapan at yung kanyang kaso. At pagtapos na, wala na. Di ba? So, what do we do now? Show in folder and then, ay nako, ang bagal talaga ng computer ko. Okay, and then we will extract this one. Extract all. Okay. Kailangan natin itong mapag-usapan din. Hindi lang tayo puro asukal na lang kasi magkaka-diabetes tayo niyan, ano? Right. Where are you? Here you go. This one. Okay. There. But I will put you on the other side so that I can share you. Okay. And then, okay. Buhay. Kumusta ba kayo? How are you all? Uy, dito si... Andito si Mama Dali, oh. Good evening po. And nandito si... Champoy. Yung champoy ba yun? Yung hope isang masarap. Kasi ba medyo maasim at matamis-tamis. Okay, share natin yan. Share natin, ha? Share screen. Share window. Window ba? Entire screen. Entire screen, ha? Yun. Okay. There you go. Sabi na, ano kayo? Ito, ha? Entry of appearance with motion to suspend arraignment. Uy, hindi lang pala delay but suspend. Ito galing sa isang report sa Twitter. Credits to the owner. But this reporter has been following all the ins and outs of this case even during the campaign. Para siya naka-assign dito. So si Walden Bello humbly requested further notices be directed to Danilo A. Balucos in Davao. Kumuha na pala siya ng abogado sa Davao. Okay. So nag-file pala siya ng petition for review with the Honorable Secretary of Justice. Okay. Consequently, the accused respectfully asked for referral of arraignment. Oh. So pag nag-file ka ng motion for petition for review, ano ba nangyayari dyan? Ano ibig sabihin yan? Yan ay isang remedy na ginagamit upang ipa-revisa sa Department of Justice yung findings ng prosecutor. Okay? Scheduled for 8 September ay isuspend ang arraignment niya. So, ang arraignment niya naman pala, schedule pa ng September 8. Okay? So, ba't bang ang abogado naman ito? Di ba? Di ba yung sabi si Attorney Balucos? Espiritu. Anyway, whatever. No? Bahala sila sa buhay nila. Pero ano itong petition for review? Itong petition for review gives the Department of Justice 1 month to decide whether the findings of the prosecutor is proper or not to continue with the case. So maalala nyo, ito si kagalang-galang na Walden Bello ay naakusahan nga ng cyber libel. At ang nag-file ng cyber libel ay itong si malamang, okay, sino bang nakalagay dito? Wala na. Hindi na nakasulat yung pangalan, no? Si Jeffrey Tupas. Now, itong example ito, People of the Philippines versus Walden Bello. I was searching for this case to be covered by the international press. Maalala ninyo nung si Maria Reza yung nagkaroon ng kasong ganito. Grabe yung ingay ng international press. And I was telling before na kung si Ivan Mayrina siguro yung kinasuhan na hindi kanyang ka-alingaw-ngaw. And true enough, I haven't seen much trouble being dedicated by the international press on the Walden Bello case. And although it's the same thing, it's a cyber libel case. So, libel under 353, okay, relation to known as the Cyber Crime Prevention Act of 2012. So, good evening din sa inyo, no? Okay. Yun, nandiyan ata si Attorney Ahmed. Parang, I think he's just there. I think he's back. I think Oo nga pala. Oo nga pala. Yeah. Si Attorney Trixie, malakas naman ang ano niya. Malakas yung resistensya niya. So, malakas yung ating paniwala na kayang-kaya niya. Yep. Totoo po yan. Meron naman siyang nilagay sa kanyang tweet na parang personal na statement. Okay? So, panoorin nyo na lang sa kanyang Twitter, bakit pala di nakakulong si Resha. Ang sabi, hindi siya nakakulong dahil meron na siyang post-conviction bail. So, yung kanyang kaso ay malamang iaangat nila sa Supreme Court. Supreme Court. Okay, nag-positive sa COVID. Yes po. Alright. Sino pa bang mga gusto may mga itatanong dyan bago tayo first time ko kita napapanood. Nasanay ako na si Attorney Trixie. Yes. Masanay ka na. By the way, putol-putol ang audio. Totoo ba yan? May audio is bad? Or baka yung aking mic hindi maganda ang pagkasaksak? Or did I connect to the right connection? Let me see. Let me check. Nakakulong dahil meron siyang post-conviction bail. Right? So, in this libel case, marami sa atin nag-assume na may kinalaman ito sa kanyang mga statements nung lumabas yung bali-balita na itong si media officer ng Office of the Mayor ng Davao City ay umano'y nasangkot or involved sa isang raid. But the facts of that case were clarified on that day alone. Mismo. And before umabot atin ng tanghali, the following day, ay naglabas kaagad ng order itong si Sara Duterte na dinismiss niya nga itong kanyang empleyado. So how does Sara Duterte figure into this whole thing? At bakit si Walden Bello, kung maririnig niyo yung mga statements niya, maririnig mo yung mga statements ng kanyang mga taga-suporta, parang kiniklaim nila na itong kaso niya ay may kinalaman kay Sara. Meron nga ba? Ano bang alam niyo dito? Kailan ba niya ito nilibel? Di ba? Dito to yan? Di ba? Tell me, is my audio putol-putol? Stop natin ang music. Okay. Yeah. Of course. Sabi nyo, stop natin ang music. Alright. So, balik tayo kay Walden. How did this happen? Ano bang pagkakalam nyo? Good evening, Sir Ed. Good evening. Si Attorney Ahmed, nasa ospital. Tinakbo si Sir Berus dahil nasugat ang paa. Tumawag sa akin ng 10 minutes before tayo mag-start. Okay na. Okay na daw yung ating audio. Yan, ayos na. Okay, good. So, etong si kaso na to, kailan ba ito nagsimula? How did this even start? Okay? Sino nakakalam? Kailan ba nilabas ni Walden Bello itong kanyang statement na naging sanhi ng kanyang pagkaroon ng kasong cyber libel? Yun ang tanong. So where do we begin? Let's start from the very beginning. Okay? Pero bago yan, maganda siguro kung tawagin natin si Walden. Pwede ba natin pasalihin si Walden Bello dito? Subukan natin tawagin natin si Walden. Sir Walden, nasaan ka na ba? Yan. Pwede na ba yan? Okay na siguro, no? Magkamukha na kami. Paano ba natin to sinimulan itong problema na to? Last year po ata, akala nyo lang last year. But this is actually just a very new incident, and tama po si Crescent Moon before the start of the election. Okay? Para makita nyo, yung iba hindi kasi napapansin kung sino yung nagsasalita dito. Okay? Good evening po sa inyong lahat. Salamat JP at pinayagan nyo akong sumali sa inyong live ngayong gabi. Dahil wala naman si attorney, kaya yung lingkod po, si Walden Bello muna tayo sama-sama ngayong gabi. At pag-usapan nga natin yung issue. Sabi, last January daw, gusto niyo bang mapanood yung video kung paano ko talaga siya nilibel? Baka naman kayo ay ma-turn off na po sa akin. Okay lang po ba sa inyo yan? ano mukhang zombie? Hindi! Ako to! Hindi nyo ba? Ay, kayo naman talaga. Hindi na kayo mabiro. Wala siya attorney Ahmed. Di tayo muna magsama-sama ngayong gabi. Hindi naman talaga ito kasi kaso ng cyber libel. This is not a case of cyber libel. This is just a political issue. And in an election, it is always fair game for everyone. Di ba? We do not file cases against each other, whatever we do in our campaigns, right? And anyone who files a case against someone, that's really bad taste. Ang pangit daw. Ang pangit daw. Ano sabi nito? Yung staff ni Inday nag-attend ng birthday party. Tapos, okay, November po yan nangyari. Yes, I know that. I read the news and I was there after. No, I wasn't there. Anyway. Ayusin natin yan. Kala nyo si Walden yun. Naputo na tuloy. Okay. Sige. So, bago itong pangyayari na ito. So, naalala ninyo, nagkaroon ng malaking issue nung bandang simula ng Agosto dahil yun na nga, may lumabas na warrant of arrest. At nag-ingay na naman ng mga tao. No? At syempre, diyan na yung mga ang nakapagtataka, anong kinalaman ni Sara Duterte dito na siya na nga yung nagtatalsik ng bata? Okay. Sige. Review tayo. Mag-review tayo. Okay. Open all. Okay. Ano ba naman yan? Open all. Bigat Mabigat yung file. Sir Red, kumusta po yung inyong biyahe? Dun sa birthday ng inyong kapatid? Kayo ba ay nag-enjoy? At natunghayan yung 40th anniversary ng inyong kapatid na pugi? Na lapitin ng mga chicks? Pero, stick to one. Iyan ang mahalaga. Stick to one. Listening while at work in Arizona. Dapat hindi lang listening, you should have seen Walden Bello para makita mo yung ating guest. No? Ayaw magbukas ng aking mga files. Ano bang nangyayari dito? No? Ulitin nga natin. Kasi, okay, napagtanto ko, saan nga ba ito nagsimula? Did he even attempt to defend himself in the preliminary investigation? Yan ang unang-unang magandang tanong. Diba? Lumalabas na noong April 20, si Walden pala ay nag-file nga ng kanyang counter affidavit dito sa kasong cyber libel. At ano naman yung kanyang sinabi sa kanyang counter affidavit and why didn't it work with the fiscal's office? Kasi, di ba, mahalaga yung tingnan natin, is our justice system really fair? Di ba? Because we claim, tayo, ako, kayo, we always claim, especially in this case, no? Our judicial system works. Hindi po tanga yung ating tawag nito, ang ating mga prosecutor, di ba? Hindi tanga yung ating ano ba nangyari? Bakit ba ito ganito? Ayun. Hindi ba ito na-extra? Drive. Okay? So, hindi tanga yung ating prosecutor, hindi tanga yung ating judge to issue that search warrant. Di ba? And for that search warrant to come out, it must have meant that either he did not participate or if he did, his rationale didn't work. Now, ngayon na siya ay naghahain ng kaso sa Department of Justice, is this this is a proof na they believe na yung ating prosecutor was wrong in his decision to file that case with the court to begin with. Okay, so let's begin with this one. Okay? This one shows that in April 20, andyan na naman si Mindan News. Oh. Remember Mindan News? Itong yung fact check natin. Magaling to mag-fact check eh. Okay. So, VP Bet Walden Bello says, cyber libel complaint has no basis. Instigated by Mayor Sara. Why does he say? Okay, so, kahit naman sabihin natin na si Sara daw ang nasa
Here's
likod.
what I found online.
Ay, kulit mo. Okay, Sara daw yung nasa likod. Okay? Ano ngayon? No? Lumabag sa batas. Sabihin na natin political prosecution. Hindi, gusto nating malaman whether it's true or not. Ha? We will, yeah, you have a point there. You have a point there and we agree with you. But we need to establish whether this really has a basis or not. Di ba? Yun. So, okay, hi. Okay, now, in April 20, he filed his, there. Meron naman pala siyang counter affidavit. So, sana natin mabasa yan. Pero kung gusto natin malaman, ano ba laman yan? No? What did it contain? What did it contain, my friend? Maghain ng cyber. Okay. Yan. Okay, ito muna. Dito muna. Saan ba yan nagsimula? Bakit ganyan? At hindi na ito in-order? Ito daw kasi ang pinanggagalingan. Nababasa niyo ba? Hindi ako nagsabi niya na at hindi ko siya babasahin. Yan ay galing sa balita. Kasi, di ba, hindi natin yan, we're just discussing this as the basis for this filing of this complaint. Okay? Hindi ko siya babasahin, kaya na lang. Kasi ayaw ko siyang banggitin dahil yun, nakalagay naman kung sino nagsabi. So, ang basis niya dito sa pagsalita niyan is hindi pagdalo ni Duterte Carpio sa CNN debates. Therefore, the statement was made during the campaign. Okay? Malinaw ba yun? Nasa, okay? That she did not know she was sheltering a drug dealer. Okay, itong she. Pwede na dito banggitin kasi si Sara na yung pinapatamaan niya dito eh. That she did not know she was sheltering a drug dealer is not credible. Therefore, he was making that sentence above, which is libelous, or which is the bone of the contention in this libel case, para siraan or tirahin si Sara Duterte, who was running in the same, good evening Ma'am Nila, magandang gabi po, no? Who was running for the same position of Vice President. So this pala has something to do with that election. Okay? Sabi pa dito, si Jeffrey Tupas daw ay nag-file ng kanyang kaso because it was a politically motivated move. No? She was instructed by Sara Duterte to take away attention from her refusal to participate in the vice presidential debate. The strategy has one goal in mind, harassment. Sabi niya sa press. Okay. Running mate ni presidential candidate Calio de Guzman na ang kasong ito ay panggigipit lamang sa kanya. So ito daw ay sabi ni Walden Bello. It aims to inconvenience us in legal bureaucracy while failing to address the concerns we raised during the mayor's tainted record in Davao. Oy, ang totoo pala talagang pinapatamaan nito ay si Sara. So, kaya naman yung kanya namang feeling ay si Sara yung nagkakaso sa kanya. Huwag na natin basahin yun. So, ito ay galing sa Philstar, Again, Philstar. Philstar ni Manny. Ito yung kanyang picture na galing sa kanyang Twitter na siya ay nag-declare na all those declared persona na. Okay. Nangyari pa pala ito na dineklara din daw siyang persona non grata niya. Anyway. Again. Whoop! Oh, nakita niyo yung title. Mamaya yan. Pasabi ni Walden yan sa akin. Hop! Okay, anyway. Ayan. So ito si Mike Navallo yung nag-file. Ito si Mike Navallo, talagang bilib din ako dito. Talagang sunod na sunod siya sa kaso ni Walden. Tsaka talagang alaga niya si Walden. Haba. Ito pala yung pananalita ng laban ng masa. Hindi ko kasi ito sila pinakinggan eh. Nakinig ba kayo sa kanila nung election? Buti naman siguro ngayon mapakinggan naman natin sila kahit paano, no? Kawawa naman. Voice in the wilderness. Ako nga, nagagalit ako dahil naka-restrict yung aking account. So wala rin nakakapakinig sa akin masyado. Kayo lang. Lagi. Pero of course, I'm very glad you're there. Hindi katanggap-tanggap na hindi dideklarang regular holiday ang eleksyon. Ganito pala sila magsalita. Karugtong pa ito ng pagkapanalo ni Duterte noong 2016 at ang pagkabigo ng 8 diretsyon noong 2019. Mas organisado ang makinarya ng political dynasty para sa halalan. Alam nila kung paano ginagagamitin ang distraksyon ng mamamayang binigo ng pag-aalsang EDSA 1986. Kaya kaaway talaga dito. Kamangha-mangha. Kaya dito ko kinuha yung ating terminology kanina sa ating title, kamangha-mangha. Kamangha-mangha. Ang tinukoreang groundswell na natipon sa loob lamang ng mahigit 7 buwan. Hindi ito sumapat para ibuwal. Galit pala talaga si Walden. And I must declare again that Walden's book served as one of my textbooks in college. At yan naman si Walden magaling na author pagdating sa mga ibang bagay. Okay. So where did this begin? Yun ang tanong. Gusto niyo ba makita talaga yung tunay na video? The video? Gusto niyo makita yung video? Okay. Sino gusto makakita ng video? Kamangha-mangha. Ano daw English ng kamangha-mangha? Wait. Amazing. Amazing. Parang Amazing Spider-Man. Good evening, Van. Uy, yung mga gusto palang yan, hinintay ko to
Hello, Pose.
Yon.
Aksidente yung aso eh.
Na-aksidente. O yan, tell us muna. Kasi mag-film showing tayo ngayon, attorney. Do you know film showing?
Film showing?
Film
Meron
showing.
bang music? May music ba yan? Wala.
Wala. Ito.
Si Walden pala to.
Yan. Mag-film showing kasi na sana kami, kaya lang dumating ka, kaya
sige,
mag-greet
mag-film
ka
showing
muna sa
tayo.
kanila.
Gusto ko rin mamanood niya.
Mag-greet ka muna.
Hello, Foz. Good evening. Sensya na po
di ba? Magkamukha kami, di ba?
Natin pa. Paano mo ginawa yan?
Kayo hindi kayo naniniwala sa akin eh.
Ayos yan. Teka.
Hindi ba?
Kamukha mo nga, no? Awesome. Gawin natin yan.
Ayaw nyo maniwala kasi sa akin eh. Kaya lang, ang hindi ko lang alam kung meron tong audio mamaya. Testing ko lang kung may audio eh.
Sige.
May audio ba? Wala.
Ano mo yung system sound?
Kung wala na naman tayong audio?
I-click mo yung system sound.
Wala ka na rin.
Tanggalin mo muna yan. Tapos i-share mo ulit. Sige. Ulitin ko lang. Tapos share mo ulit.
Sige, usapin mo muna sila kasi gawin ko siya ulit.
Video file yung ano mo. Yung pindutin i-share mo. Hindi screen. Video file. Nandun sa hospital yung aso kasi nagkaliwa-liwa.
Ano nangyari? Ala ka, magagalit sa'yo si Sir Ed. Nanonood pa naman dyan.
Alam mo magkano binayaran ko, brother?
Ano?
Nakita ko si Sir Ed. Alam mo magkano? 10,000 kagad.
Ayan,
Mas mahal
kaya,
pa sa...
Kung may mga batang nanonood dyan, napakaganda pong negosyo or profesyon ang pagiging isang veterinaryo. Huwag kayong maging katulad ko na isang veteranong aktivista.
Ako, philosopher.
Hindi po kayo yayaman sa pagiging aktivista. Okay, ayusin ko lang yung pagka-share ng video file.
Hello po. Salamat po. Salamat J. Cesar Flores Maambong. Bakit paulit-ulit yung post mo, brother? Bakit ganyan?
Alin? Maraming beses nga siya mag-send.
Cesar. Kakaiba rin ba si brother?
Okay, ayusin ko lang ha. Saan ba yun napunta? Nasaan ba yun? Sige, kausapin mo muna sila. Saglit, ayusin ko lang yung aking kasi hindi ko na mahanap ulit. Naloko na ito.
Yung video lang.
Ay, kaya nga yung video kasi i-re-share ko siya, di ba? Hindi galing dun sa wait lang.
Para na akong judge. Di ba may motion siyang final?
Yung motion ay naipakita ko na sa kanila. Hindi pala siya postponement but nag-file sila ng petition for review sa Department of Justice. Gusto talaga gusto kasi talaga nila ang gusto talaga nila talagang mapakita na talagang talaga yung diniin talaga yung kanilang karapatan, di ba?
Sige.
Okay, wait lang ha. Ayusin ko lang kasi hindi ko na mahanap. Ayusin ko lang. Okay.
Ayusin mo muna.
Yeah, kausapin mo nga lang sila habang inayos ko to. Kasi hindi na naman
mas okay itong ganitong buhok. Mas okay itong ganito.
Judge ba yan?
Judge. Judge wig. Wig to ng judge. Judge wig. Nakita mo na?
Nakita ko. Siya yan eh. Pennywise yan
Hindi yung video file. Tapon ito.
Hindi. Saglit na. Ito na siya. Ay, hindi yan.
Okay, dito
Where did you go? Show in folder. Yun. Puro numero yung lumabas nun eh. Sa ABS and okay. Ay, no, ay, no. Doon ka pala pumunta. Doy. Doy, doy, doy. Okay. Sige. Sino excited dyan mag-film showing? No? Kasi,
Okay na natin.
itong si... Wait. Cancel. Shared video file.
Bakit hindi na ako,
Sinusuklayan mo pa yan?
bakit hindi na suklay itong
Ha?
buko? Ano ba to?
Sinusuklayan mo pa yan?
Hindi nasusuklay. Ano ba to?
Ay, nako. Sana may
Labo, ah.
audio. Sana may audio.
Ah,
Sana
ay.
may audio. Sana may audio. Sana may
Ay,
audio.
ano yan?
Sana may audio. Sana may audio. Sana may audio. Sana may... Teka,
It
tinawag
being
natin.
an open
Ay, meron,
secret in
ano?
Davao that
Oo.
the drug trade
Uy,
Yun.
para din siyang pareho ni English na mag-English na ano, no?
So I will give an
Yeah,
intro. I will give an intro for our video for tonight. I will, this is the body of the crime. Tama? Yan ba yung tawag doon? The body of the crime. Tama ba yun, attorney?
Ano yung corpus delicti?
The corpus delicti. The body of the crime.
Sige. Ito yung corpus delicti. Sige,
This is, okay, this is a corpus delicti. So, that portion where the delicti happens, we will mute. Okay? So that we will not be corpus. Okay?
Hindi naman.
Pero,
Lagyan na natin for educational purposes. Discussion.
Hindi.
Wala pa naman sa kaso.
hindi, meron na itong kaso, nakapile na to sa korte eh. So baka maging
wala.
tayo dito. Baka matawag tayong republishing. Ha?
Ang,
No, republishing. Magkakasuhan tayo nito
sige,
pa si
sige,
Sara.
Oh. Alam mo naman, di ba, kung kailan na
alam mo.
mute.
Nireview ko na to. I-mute natin. Pero yung kabuuan kasi ng video na to na napakaiksi lang naman, mga 20 minutes lang naman. Pero mag-enjoy kayo sa kanyang mga pinagsasasabi. Nakakatawa.
Hi, Maureen.
Simulan natin sa simula.
Antoinette.
Siyempre, no?
Hello. Oseng, what's up?
Hindi pa naman yan sila.
Hello.
Right.
Good afternoon, everyone. To our friends from the press.
Date pala, date. Ang date nito ay March 1. Okay? This is March 1, 2022. Hindi po ito November. Okay?
So we'll begin shortly. So we'll begin the program with Walden reading a prepared statement, and then I'll be facilitating a question and answer with the So please use the raise hand feature if you have any questions that you'd like to raise. You may also use the chat box. If you need permission to record locally, please let me know. Type in the chat as well. Okay, thank you. I think we could start.
Kindly.
Pinatay na naman ni JP yung kanyang computer. Ano ba yan? Kulit. Okay. Ano nangyari sa'yo, brother?
Did I suddenly get
Pinatay mo na naman yung computer mo.
No, wala akong ginawa.
Sudden
Bigla
death.
na lang. Sudden death. Okay. Again, corpus delicti, part 2. Okay, alisin nga muna natin yung mga, mga facial expression. Okay? Baka nagagalit si Walden. Okay. Hindi ko alam talaga. Yan yung sinabi ko sa iyo one time na bigla na ako nawala. Sabi mo, okay lang? Yun, exactly the same. Exactly the same error. Okay, but let's do it again. One more time.
Interesting.
Add to stream.
Interesting.
Forward na natin ng konti, no?
Yeah.
All right. Hello, teacher. If you have any questions that you'd like to raise.
So this is a press conference, okay? This is done in a press
everyone-
conference.
All right. Okay. Everyone who's asked for local permission has been given already. So I'll let Walden.
to respond. Okay. Yes. Good morning. Good afternoon, members of the press. Thank you for attending this press conference at short notice. We wanted to respond to the response Mayor Sara Duterte's team on the mayor's boycotting the vice presidential
Yung
debate.
nagsasalita sa kanya yan.
And I was hoping if people could sort of mute themselves so that there would be no interruption in the reading. This is the response that came out in the name of Mayor Christine Garcia Frasco. And our response is Mayor Sara Duterte's campaign office has replied to my calling her a coward for refusing to participate in the vice presidential debates by saying that she cannot reconcile scheduling, campaigning, and participating in the debates. Now, all the rest of us vice presidential candidates have no problems both debating and campaigning throughout the country. To follow the description of another famous politician, apparently Mayor Sara cannot walk and chew gum at the same time. Another reason adduced by her spokesperson is that she does not need to participate in the debates because, and I quote directly from their statement, in the 5 years since her becoming mayor in 2016, Davao has received 118 awards, citations, and recognitions. Now, if Davao City is so multi-awarded, why is it that, one, the administration of Davao City has failed to provide housing for informal settlers who have multiplied since she became mayor in 2017? Two, Davao City has become the drug smuggling center of the South, it being an open secret in Davao that the drug trade is controlled by a Duterte family member. Three, Davao City has become the favored jump-off point to international destinations.
Reaction, taga Davao. Reaction mo na taga Davao, nakahinga ka doon? Nakahinga ka sa mga pinagsasabi niya?
Okay naman. I have the right to say that. But sa totoo lang yung drug trade. Since the Dutertes came into power in Davao, drugs stopped there and moved to General Santos. So that every Friday night, you will see a very long queue of cars, very expensive cars and trucks and all that, going to General Santos. And it will be a very, very, very long queue of rich cars. Going to
Gimmick
Jetsan.
lang.
And
Gimmick.
there,
Gimmick.
drugs
Gimmick.
is
Well, allegedly.
gimmick lang.
Gimmick lang. Pero anyway, ito naman, talking about rights to say, Ma'am Ende Peralta, okay po sa akin yung suggestion nyo. No? Maganda po yan, lalo na kung kayo ay editor-in-chief ng isang newspaper at tatanggapin nyo ako maging kolumnista. Game po ako. Or di kaya, padala lang kayo sa Gcash. So, nagsimula siya by attacking Davao City. Alright?
Of criminals seeking to escape the long hand of the law, like Duterte family friends Mohit Dargani and Twinkle Dargani, the two executives of Farmally, the firm that had been investigated, Farmally being the firm that bagged a corrupt contract for 11.7 billion pesos for personal protective equipment from the Duterte administration. 4, Davao City under Mayor Sara Duterte continues to maintain, according to the Commission on Audit, 10,000 ghost or non-existent employees on its payroll.
Teka, di ba kaya si Sara Duterte at talaga ang dapat mag-file ng cyber libel case dito?
And finally, Mayor Duterte's press information officer, Jeffrey Tupas, was not.
Yan. I-mute ko lang yan ng part na yan kasi yan yung allegedly cyber libelous. Okay, at nabasa naman natin yung text niyan.
1.5 million pesos worth of drugs on November 6, 2021. Now, the mayor's excuse that she did not know she was sheltering a drug dealer does not wash it.
All right. So this one was aired in his Facebook page on March 1 in a pre-announced press conference. Okay? Now, his claim on April 20, ano ba yung kanyang defense daw? Ayon sa balita at ayon na rin sa kanyang kampo pati na mga tweet, no? Ang kanilang claim is hindi naman daw siya ang nag-post niyan. Pwede ba yun, attorney? Ang dinideny niya,
pero siya yung nasa video.
siya yung nagsasalita, it is named the Walden Bello Facebook page. Okay? And, okay. Ang akin lang dito, ang pwede niya lang talang ipapanalo dito, walang nanonood sa page niya. Kaya lang, this was a press conference. Alright. Now, if we will continue further, you will see
Is not
that
credible. Participating in a national debate is the only way that Mayor Inday Sara can explain these blots on her record as the top city officer of Davao City that cast doubt on her fitness to hold higher office. If you can't run your...
Hi, Walden. Sorry you were put on mute.
Siya
Can you
yan.
unmute?
Siya yung nag-mute ng sarili niya. Kasi nagluluto ata ng pananghalian dun sa ano eh.
Okay.
Oh, yan.
Okay, I'm sorry about that, members of the press. So participation in a national debate is the only way Inday Sara can explain these lots on her record as the top city officer of Davao City that cast doubt on her fitness to hold higher office. If you cannot run your city properly, how can people trust you to run a big and complex country? So I repeat my question, Mayor Sara, why are you a coward? Nanong talawan man ka, Inday. You're bringing shame to Davaoeños who have to add another award for their city.
Ano daw?
That of the best hideout for no shows in national debates. Thank you very much, and I do hope that in future debates, Mayor Sara will finally appear to clarify these blots on her record as a mayor. As I said, if you can't run your city properly, how can we expect you to run a big and complex country like the Philippines? Thank you.
She's the
Okay.
vice president, dude. She's not running any country if the president doesn't die. Moron.
Okay. No. Okay. Babalik ko lang yung kanyang petition ha. Yung kanyang court filing, Attorney Ahmed, babalik ko lang ha. With your permission, please, Your Honor. Wala na ba yung wig natin dyan? Your Honor, with your permission, please.
Granted.
Okay. Hindi, kasi ganito na. Naipagkita na natin to kanina. Pero ipapagkita na natin ulit ngayon, ha? Anong sinasabi niya dito sa kanyang depensa? Ang kanyang depensa is hindi daw siya yan. Hindi daw siya ang nag-post niyan, kundi yung kanyang staff. Yung kanyang staff. Yun yung laman ng kanyang April 20 meeting. Okay? Doon sa korte. And,
That's weak.
alright, adjusting. Okay? There you go. Okay? Hindi daw dapat gumamit ng legal na maniobra. Duwag lang sa debate yan si Sara. At walang bawian dito. There's no such thing as making bawi this statement. We'll stand on it. This is what they said when they were filed the case by Tupas. The following 6 days after, March 7, ito yung sabi nila. Walang bawian ng statement dito. There is no such thing as making bawi. This statement will stand by it. Alright. So, naging congressman pala si Bello ng Akbayan?
Mm.
Ha?
Ng ano, ng
Akbayan is
ng
Risa Ontiveros, no?
party list.
Kaya nga, pero si Risa Ontiveros is Akbayan, tama?
Oh, she's a member of the party.
Oo. Yun.
Ano, isang malaking ano yan sila eh, coalition. Yung yung Makabayan Bloc.
Sa panayam ng Philstar kay Bello, sinabi niya hindi nila babawiin ang naturang pahayag laban kina Tupas at Duterte. Bukod pa riyan, handang-handa naman daw silang humarap sa korte hinggil sa naturang reklamo. This is what they said when when Tupas filed. Okay. Dagdag pa nila, hindi dapat gumamit ng legal na mga maniobra.
Bakit hindi? Ano ka, diktador? Fool.
Okay? Did you see that? Okay, now next okay. Right. But now sino ngayon yung gumagamit ng legal na maniobra? Wait, ano nangyayari dito ngayon? Ano ko nga ito palitin?
Ano palitin? Double click mo lang.
Resize. Ay, hindi.
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 Ayan.
Wala niyo yung ano ko.
Double click mo din sa taas. Liliit yan.
Wait,
Dito sa lower right, merong square na broken. Pindutin mo yan. Lower right corner.
Lower right? Ito.
Yan.
Okay, dito na lang.
Hindi, gaga.
Hindi, ito na lang. Kasi ito yung ano eh. Ito yung gusto ko ipakita sa iyo eh. There you go. This is dated August 15. Right now, here we go. Ang sabi,
Pabayaw ko.
number 2.
Yung may skin na.
Di ba ito yung legal na maniobra na sinasabi niya na huwag gamitin? Handang-handa daw silang harapin yung kaso sa korte. Tapos ngayon, nung nandun na sa korte at pinailan na nga siya ng kaso,
Harapin daw niya eh, sabi niya.
harap niya. Ngayon, punta siya sila.
Ayaw niyang harapin.
Ayun yung harapin.
Kasi
Punta sa
arraignment
Secretary
ito
Justice.
eh. Arraignment itong unang gagawin sa kanya, hindi siya sisipot. Alam niyo kung
Hindi.
yung pinaliwanag mo na ba yung arraignment?
Pero mas maganda, ipaliwanag mo ulit. Ikaw ang abogado.
Okay.
Mm.
Hindi naman. Hindi kailangan abogado. Anyway, yung sinasabi nitong pleading na to, ay final nila ito before the arraignment because that's the only time they can file this pleading.
I think,
But
okay, if I'll go to, the date pala is September 8.
Yes, pero
Prayer.
kanino
Yan.
yan? Sa unang-una, first page.
Yun, ito.
Patingin sa taas yung caption.
Branch 10, Davao City.
Okay. May motion to suspend arraignment. Hindi yan suspend, that is to defer arraignment. Anyway, yeah. Yung arraignment na tinatawag, yan yung unang-unang process na nangyayari sa isang criminal case, sa isang criminal court trial.
Yan ba yung pagbabasa ng sakdal?
Yes, babasahan ka ng sakdal and then tatanungin ka, how do you plead? Okay. Guilty or not guilty? Once you answer that, the court immediately gets automatically gets jurisdiction over your person and tutuloy na yung trial. So, the arrest is the tool. Yung pag-aaresto, yun yung tool para makuha para madala siya sa korte, para ma-arrange siya, para makakuha na yung korte ng jurisdiction sa kanyang person. Kasi ang isang criminal case, ang korte dapat merong jurisdiction over the crime, jurisdiction over the accused, the person of the accused. Kaya dalawang jurisdictions ang kailangan i-acquire ng korte. Ang jurisdiction over the crime or the offense means kung saan nangyari yung krimen.
And then kung qualified yung court, no? Yung qualified yung court, is it the proper court? Tama.
Is it the proper court? Kung RTC ba yan or MTC, ganyan.
MTC, family
But
court.
it should be the court or where the crime happened.
The situs of the crime.
Yan yung jurisdiction over the offense. Ang jurisdiction over the person of the offender, ayun yung pagka-aresto at pag-arraign sa kanya. Kaya napaka-importante yung arraignment. Kasi kung hindi ka ma-arraign, hindi magsisimula ang kaso sa'yo. At magtutuloy-tuloy ang pagbilang
ng kanyang prescription period.
Prescriptive period.
Naalala mo yung kay Reza?
Ganon.
Na ilang beses niyang pinapospone.
That should put people, the citizens of this country on notice. Kapag mayroong mga akusado na nagpapa-suspend or nagpapa-defer or nagpapa-postpone ng arraignment, they are up to no good because the effect of that is to delay and push back the arraignment, which is the time the court takes jurisdiction over the offender, hanggang maubos na lang yung panahon na pwede po siyang kasuhan on that crime. Okay? May prescriptive period kasi ang bawat offense sa ating revised penal code.
Yep.
Merong yung depende sa penalty kung gaano katagal, ganun din siyang corresponding prescriptive period like 6 months, 1 year, ganyan. In this case, I think it's 9 years. Yata, 'di ba? Yung libel, yung kay Reza, ano ba yung ginamit doon?
Ang sabi ng Court of Appeals, okay? It's 15 years. Ang sabi ng trial court, it was 12 years. Okay? And then nilabanan nila Reza yan in the appeal, stating that it should only be 1 year. And then sabi ng Court of Appeals, no. And it should actually be 15 years. So yung kanilang nilabanan ng 12, naging 15 pa.
Pero it's not just one crime because I think there was in that case, there is conspiracy. I think that is why it reached 15 years. Kasi
no.
Ano ba?
It was a straightforward computation based on the
penalty of one
penalty. Yeah. Yun lang. Okay. Pero ito.
So that is a tactic. That is a delaying tactic. Not only a delaying tactic because you are actually affirmatively or positively making something happen, and that something is the tolling of the prescriptive period. So paubos na ng paubos bawat araw, mauubos yan. So, hindi ka na pwedeng kasuhan pagka napasok na yung kaso or yung crime.
Okay,
so,
ideally,
we should be put on notice when that is being done.
Yeah, ideally, this will only give the defense 1 month. Di ba? They can actually only ask the court 1 month.
1 year yan. Remember, doon sa kaso natin?
No, 1 month lang yan, sir.
Yung unang kaso natin?
Yep. 1 month lang tong nito. Because supposedly, the Department of Justice should be able to resolve this within a month. Okay?
Binago na nila ngayon. Kasi nung panahon natin, 1 year yun.
1 month.
Hintay tayo ng 1 year nun eh.
1 month and then pinadelay natin tayo yung nagpa-move ng hearing. Kasi every month, minumove ng judge. Sabi ng judge, okay, sige, 1 month more, 1 month more. Pero dapat kasi na-resolve na nila Dilima yon within 1 month. Hindi na nire-resolve. Kaya natin withdraw. Diba? Withdraw natin sa Department of Justice. Wag nyo na nga yung i-review dahil lalabanan na lang namin to sa korte. Diba? Kasi ang tagal
nyo. Lang kami.
Yun.
Nakwento mo lang ba sa kanila? Nakwento mo sa kanila yung kaso?
I actually did exactly this. This defense that you're doing, I did this myself. And this is how
That is not a defense. That is not a defense.
This is a remedial remedy.
Tactic.
Hindi, kasi yung sa akin naman talaga, may basis. Okay? My basis was, I was filed the case of obstruction of justice. And then I defended myself based on obstruction of justice. And then I was filed a case of unjust vexation. I never defended myself against that kind of case.
MTC
Diba?
lang kasi yun. Walang preliminary
Yun.
investigation.
Meron yun. May PI yun. Si
PI ka
Easy
ba?
lang.
PI ka ba doon?
Nag-PI ako. Si Easy yung
Boy,
abogado
si
ko.
Easy Boy ang naghawa.
Yes. Pero ako lang din yun. It was just me. Okay? That's my story. Yeah, tama. This is the story time. And this is the story of how Attorney A won his first case. Oh, ha? Spill the beans. Oh, sige.
Hindi
Sabi
hindi na ako pwedeng tawagin hindi na ako pwedeng tawagin attorney no case. No case
Yes.
one.
Ganito, let me tell you about Attorney Ahmed's first case. Actually, it was my
Nandito
case.
lang ako, nandito lang ako.
Okay.
Makikinig lang ako.
So, I was still a law student in the UP College of Law. And ang nakita akong kapitbahay na bata, kinukuha ng mga pulis. I was actually going to class. Okay. Pwede ba ako maglagay ba ako ng Snapchat dito ng mukha?
Sige.
Hindi na. Hindi na.
Ni Cha.
Alright.
Karo.
But make the long story short, okay? His
Yung
parents
bata,
were not
ano
there.
nangyari?
Walang parents yung bata. And then minor. And then sinamahan ko hanggang kung saan nila binitbit. Hanggang sa dumating yung parents. Little did I know, ang sabi ng mga barkada nitong, kasi nagkaroon sila ng bugbugan the night before, and then evidently one of the victims in that bugbugan was a nephew of a prosecutor. Okay? So yun,
Nako po.
I didn't know that ganun pala ka-powerful yung biktima. And I heard days later na yung instruction pala ay iligpit yung
Patatin.
nakabiyak ng ulo ng pamangkin. So I was
Dapat
obstructing that kind of justice. Ayun.
Aha.
So, nung dumating yung preliminary investigation na orders dito sa kapitbahay, gulat ako, meron din ako. Ba't meron din ako? Pagbukas ko, obstruction of justice. Shit, nangatog ang tuhod ko.
Unjust
Sabi
vexation
ko,
ang kinaso nila sa'yo, di ba?
hindi, obstruction of justice. Okay? An obstruction of justice is a very, very heavy offense. Kapag ako ay nakonvict doon, goodbye law.
6 years.
Diba? Kahit na matapos man akong mag-abogado, hindi rin ako makapag-practice kasi magiging criminal ako. So I go to the UP College of Law. And I go to the Ola Kital. And there, I was so lucky. The professor who was handling Ola himself was there. Hindi kasi si Rowie at that time, pare.
Si ano yun? Si Teddy Te?
Yes, and I showed him my summons for the preliminary investigation. Sabi ko, Prof, I'm a student here and I just received this morning. And ganyan. Alam mo ano sagot sa akin ni Teddy Te? I don't care.
Oh. Ang galing. Kaya pala nanalo siya doon kay Reza.
I don't care.
Dahil I don't care.
Katatapos ko lang ng legal ethics Di ba sa legal ethics, when an accused with a criminal case approaches a lawyer, no lawyer can actually dismiss that. Even if you are a prosecutor.
Say no.
Cannot say no until you endorse that person to a lawyer who can take care of his criminal case.
Help him.
But Theodore T, head of the Office of Legal Affairs, said, I don't care. Legal aid.
Bakit niya sinabi yun? Mainit pa ulo niya? Ano bang nangyari?
I don't know. So I had to defend myself. Ang sagot ko rin, I don't know. So I had to defend myself. Ayun. So in defending myself,
Ayos.
I argued I could not be charged with obstruction of justice because all of the elements of obstruction of justice I never did. And rightfully I could not be. So the prosecutor charged me with unjust vexation. Ayos.
Unjust
And
vexation.
I never defended myself for unjust vexation. That's why I go to Laila de Lima. Filed this kind of petition. This petition for what? You call this the petition for review.
Review.
There are petition for review number 2
Appeal yan.
with the Secretary of Justice. That's why I know it's only 1 month. Ayun. And 1 month came, no decision from the Secretary of Justice. Balik naman kami ni Isi sa korte. Paliwanag si Isi, Your Honor, there is no decision yet on the can we request for another 1 month suspension of this 1 month postponement of this arraignment. Payag yung abogado. Third time, payag ulit yung judge. And then ako na yung nainis. So winidraw ko doon sa Department of Justice. And the next hearing day, wala si Isi. Si Isi is another lawyer na kaibigan namin. Si Ahmed just passed the bar. And you know, when you pass the bar and you practice law without taking oath, that is an unauthorized practice of law.
Practice of law. Hindi ka na maging
And
abogado
you will never be allowed to practice law after that.
anymore.
So he just passed the bar. Wala pa yung schedule nila na wala yung abogado ko na okay, actually I was the one who was preparing they just review my pleadings. And then punta akong korte, kasama ko to, bagong abogado. So tawag na yung kaso ko. Where is your lawyer? Sabi ng judge. Pero nag-file na ako dun sa korte ng motion na i-withdraw ko na yung aking itong ganyan ko. Dahil withdraw ko na rin yung aking petition for review dun sa Justice Department. Dahil ang tagal ni Laila de Limang mag-decide. So sabi niya, where is your lawyer? Kasi ang nakikita niya kasama ko, yung si EC. Sabi ko, Your Honor, my lawyer, Attorney Paela, is not here. But I have with me my friend, he just passed the bar. But he has not taken oath yet. That's why he will just be here to whisper into my ears. But I will be representing myself in this arraignment. Sus ko. Nabasa pala ng judge yung aking leading.
Wala.
Sabi ng judge, Mr. Prosecutor,
Stand up.
tayo yung prosecutor. Kasi ang ini-expect ng prosecutor, it was just an arraignment, whether babasahan ka lang ng sakdal, di ba? And then magpipli ka not guilty or guilty. Sabi na.
Yung prosecutor, polio victim, naka-crutches. Pinatayo.
Pinatayo. Sana, alam mo yung parang sa law school? Tell me the facts of this case. Sabi ng prosecutor, Your Honor, you do not know the facts of this case? Sabi ng judge. Sabi ng prosecutor, Your Honor, okay, I will tell you the facts of this case. Sabi ng judge. Nagwala yung judge. Sabi ng judge, you're just clogging my docket. Kailan pa ba naging krimen ng pagiging makulit? At paano ba kukulitin ng isang estudyante? Anong bitbit niya?
Ang isang may mga pulis.
Yung 4 na pulis na may bitbit na Armalite, tapos i-vex siya, i-anoy siya ng isang taong may libro. Paano niyo magagawa yan? Yun, nagwala yung judge. Tapos sabi ng judge, you, tinuro to si Ahmed. You, Mr. New Lawyer. Stand up. Tayo din siya. Did you help your friend in this case? Sabi, yes, Your Honor. Then you just won your first case without saying a word. Palakpakan yung buong korte. Buong korte, lahat na abogado doon, matatanda, lahat na ay nako. But this one, clearly, this case, ang depensa mo in your pleading in the prosecutor's office is, hindi ikaw ang nag-post, kundi yung staff mo nitong video na to. Oh my God.
Thanks, Walden. At this juncture, we'll
Malamang
questions
ang
from the
gusto
press.
siguro ni Walden na pakasuhan ay itong lalaking to, no? Itong
Malamang. Kasi pa siya yung gumawa ng publication eh.
Itong lalaki ba na ito gusto niyo pakasuhan na?
Oo, parang yung yung parang si Reza, 'di ba, nadamay lang din naman yung si Reza
Oo.
doon sa kanyang journalist. Kasi publisher si Reza. Reporter
Teka,
Reza.
we really want to know who this guy is. I think we should find out because it seems like if the defense is he was not the one who published it, this guy, ala ka boy.
Nandyan
Ikaw
yung pangalan
pala,
niya.
boy. Is it you? Ay, yan.
Doc
Siya ba yan?
Tolero.
Siya ba yan? Hala ka,
Nandyan yung
kawawa ka.
pangalan niya.
Hala, ikaw pala ang nag-publish. And then, okay, his site is very, very, okay. Mas marami pa nga akong followers kaysa dito kay Walden Bello. No? Okay, pero ang question kasi, meron bang nakakapanood nito? Ito yung punto. Okay.
Right. Thanks, Walden. At this juncture, we'll take questions from the press. So please raise your hand if you want to ask a question.
Meron kasing
Or you may
amplifier.
also send your messages in the questions into the chat box.
And by the way, this statement will be immediately available to you. It's by Leomar.
Application.
Okay.
Di ba?
So we have a question from Sherry Ann Torres of ABS.
Application yan.
Go ahead, please.
Application na agad yan.
Hi, Professor Bello.
Siya talaga.
Sherry Ann Torres. Okay, this statement, as you were saying kanina, he was reading, yes, it was a written one. So therefore, the contents were premeditated and not even spontaneous.
Thank you. Yes, Sherry Ann.
Sherry
Yes,
Ann
sir.
Torres of
Mayor Sara, I
ABS-CBN.
think, was interviewed last night, and she said that she has her quote personal reasons for not attending the debates, and as of this hour, their team is still studying on whether they should attend the debates. What can you say about this? And I think she's not also attending the COMELEC sponsored debate. Thank you, sir.
What can I say about it? Well, a lot of us have personal reasons, but we are able to put them aside in order to put on a higher obligation to face the country in the vice presidential and presidential debates. And only Mayor Sara and Bongbong Marcos have declined to appear because I think it's fairly clear they don't have any program to offer. Their record is bad, and if they are in a debating situation with other aspirants for the vice presidency and the presidency, they will be shown to be the fakes that they are. These are fake leaders, and they
They're
cannot
really
stand the light of day. To that will
Yes.
show
Yes.
that really they have nothing to offer, except maybe to lead the country back to the nightmare of the Marcos years. So no excuses for this.
Sir, just one follow-up, please. Sir, of course, we have surveys and surveys stating that they are leading candidates. But the absence on these debates, sir, what should the people see behind all these absences, sir? What should we understand as voters?
Well, there is
Malalibel
people who say
kayo nito.
that reason why they are absent is because they're leading in the polls, and people who are leading in the polls, it would not be good advice for them to show up in debates because what they say can only be negative in terms of their leading in the polls. And I think that is 2 years, as in Israel and South Korea, mandatory military training. Now, a lot of people really, really were upset by that, especially the youth, because you're 18, you just want to get out and earn a living. Suddenly, there's this crazy head from Davao who says, "Hey, you should spend 2 more years in military training.
Okay. He's making up so many stories, as you can see. No? ROTC doesn't add 2 more years, but it just adds a few more hours in your day at school. Okay, and obviously, you don't add 2 more years because you're an ROTC. No, so in this particular video, if you watch this to the finish, it's a 20-minute thing. It's from his page. You can actually find it if you are very matyaga. It's hard to search. You have to go down, 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 down. So you go down, 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 down to March 1. Okay? Now, he clearly, okay, posted this in his own website named Walden Bello. And sabi nga ng isang news from Mindanao, which I was also able to capture here, no? Ang sabi dito sa balita na they were covering yung prosecutor. Okay, it's from Mindanao Times. I will just read from here. Ang reason ng prosecutor for filing that case, sabi dito, a resolution approved by the city prosecutor, Jofny Avancenia. Kilala mo to, Ahmed? Or wala ka dyan? Do you know Jofny Avancenia? Okay. Rejected Bello's claim that he was not the administrator of the Walden Bello page as he failed to identify such a person. So, hindi niya rin naman sinabi kung sino yung administrator in his counter affidavit. Taking into consideration the strict requirements of Facebook or Meta before a particular page can be verified and be given with a blue badge, it can be presumed that the respondent authored the subject online article. And this is the one that we are talking about. So, in the future, you will hear na wala itong basihan. In the future, you will hear. Kasi ito, sabi nga ni Attorney Ahmed, this will take years to be resolved. Ito kanyang petition. And from my own experience, we could have waited years for this to be resolved. And yes, Laila de Lima resolved it in my case. Now, after that case was dismissed by the judge, immediately after reading the details of the case, about a year later, a resolution came from the Department of Justice. Sabi ko, pinadismiss ko na to . Okay? And the resolution came without making any mention of the motion to dismiss that I filed. Laila de Lima, actually, she signed it. Made a determination of the... She reviewed the decision of the what do you call this? Prosecutor. And Laila de Lima said, everything is in order. You can be filed with a case of unjust vexation even though you were investigated for obstruction of justice. Ang galing talaga ni Laila de Lima. She was so inspired at the time with Jonel. Yun, no? Pero dismissed na yung kaso ko. Nung nabasa ka ng judge, wala yung judge. Si Laila de Lima, pinadismiss ko na sa kanya. Dinesisyon na niya pa. At sabi niya, okay lang yun. Okay lang. Kasuhan ka. Kasuhan ka ng unjust vexation. Jonel, tama ba? Jonel! Ay, nako yung ating mga Kaya hindi ko alam kung gaano katagal yan. Didesisyon na ni... Sino ba ngayon? Si
Okay.
Justice Secretary. Who is the Justice Secretary now?
Si Boying.
Oh, yan. Baka gawin ni Boying yan. Depende because he has 1 month to make those determinations. Kung yan ay ginawa ni Boying ng 15 days, baka mapahiya si dyan. Baka biglang masabihan si Walden ng there's no merit to your petition. Ayun. So, itong video niya, wag na natin patuloy siguro, attorney, no? Kasi puro na lang to puro na lang to kaplastagan ang paninira kay Sara. So, okay. So, ang ating question, was this about Sara? Definitely, he intended it to hurt Sara. Okay? Now what I cannot find uh, justifiable is he does not even see any or show any remorse para dun sa siniraan niyang tao, no? And the statement was also published or republished by the newspapers. Pwede siguro
Mm.
natin pakita yon, di ba? Kung ano yung sinabi. Yung ating minute kanina, galing sa, you know, galing naman to sa CNN eh. What does it say? Snorting 1.5 million worth of drugs.
Ang dami niya na.
Nagsabi nga daw niya, no? That she did not know. So, that is the transcription of what he said in that press conference. And obviously, that press conference reached the media, and the media is able to republish what he said there. Siya ang source. Tama?
Mm.
Yeah. Now, we leave that to the courts to determine whether that is libelous or not. But to say na siya ay being na biktima at dapat tanggalin na yung ating cybercrime law, ay, good luck.
Let's try.
Jonel. Yeah. Yun. Meron ka pa bang gustong sama kay Belio, attorney?
Wala
Sino ba
na.
mga kinakasuhan? Sino ba mga kinakasuhan ng cybercrime? Diba? Yung kay Reza ba, alam nyo ba yung detalye din nun? Di ba, ang tanong ko lang, do you find this enlightening or alam mo, educational enough? Na magkita na natin beforehand kasi next year or 2 years from now, this will be an international issue. Sasakyan na ito ng Freedom House kapag na-convict yan siya, sasabihin na walang basihan, sasabihin na yan ay invento. Yan.
Pero si
Na,
Belio
at least
kasi hindi naman siya journalist, di ba?
Yeah, but he's just like us.
Oh.
Next time, tayo yan. Nandiyan.
Mm.
Sa ating mga pinagsasabi, baka tayo na naman yung sisigaw ng itigil na yung cybercrime law. Because this can affect you and me. That's why it's important for us to know what is wrong. What is libelous about this, attorney?
Alin? Hindi ko nakita
This
yung
statement.
complaint.
No.
Yung complaint.
This statement. No. This statement is the basis of the Si Tupas yung complainant.
Mm.
Okay. Para for the education of our kasi ito sila nagba-vlog din to eh. 'Di ba? Nagsasalita din to sila paminsan-minsan, hindi natin alam. Nagsasalita sila sa mga vlog. So, how does a statement like this become potentially libelous? Why? What is wrong with a statement like this? Saying that she and her friends were snorting 1.5 million worth.
Kasi ang nangyari dyan, from my recollection from the reports, merong raid doon sa isang beach resort
Okay?
na part ng ng Davao del Norte. Hindi yan siya Davao City, nasa labas yan ng Davao City.
Mm.
So that's one. Okay? That raid was at a beach resort outside Davao City. Mas malapit pa nga yan sa amin sa Tagum. That's I think in Pantukan, going east of our city, Tagum. Tapos ang target kasi parang may party doon may party ano na yun, di ba? Parang pandemic na yun.
November 16. November 6, November 2021. That's the date, November 6, 2021.
May pandemic na yan. Tapos may nag-raid doon because hindi yata drug ang raid na yun eh. Parang nagpa-party.
Drugs yun. Okay.
Drugs
Now the
yun.
story is like this. The story is like this. Immediately, the day after, umiko to, kumalat to. Okay? The story is like this. This Tupas person was there, reportedly, and she does not deny it that she was there. Her claim,
Lalaki.
hindi, parang ano eh. Hindi, kasi her din yung ano eh. Hindi ko alam kung may gender, ano
Meron
to,
siyang ano.
okay? Kasi in some statements, even the official statement by Sara doon sa pag-fire sa kanya, her ang ginagamit. So
Okay.
I do not know if this Jeffrey is, whatever is the gender. He's, her, okay, them, they. Sige. This Jeffrey person claims to have been there, had dinner or some drinks there, and then left. After this Jeffrey left, the NBI came. In fact, naging suspect pa nga to na siya yung nag-tip off dun sa NBI. Okay?
Mm.
So, it is not really, this person was not there during the raid. Okay?
Mm.
Yun yung account. Now, there were pahabol na mga kwento na she was actually there pero pinaipshot, ganon. Pero, okay, the official statement is this person was already out, and then in the dawn or the late evening na ni-raid yan, wala na siya doon. But Sarah, having found out na, okay, yeah, itong 1.5 million, that was established ata, na, yun yung amount ng na-seize na drugs doon. Pero ang sinasabi nitong Tupas, I didn't see that. I was just there to eat with my friends. And then I left. Okay? Hindi ko nagkabintahan yung sarili, hindi ko alam yan. Okay?
Mm.
But whatever it was, Sarah didn't, it was a position of trust and confidence. Tinanggal ni Sarah on the next day. So, this statement that she and her friends were snorting 1.5 million worth of drugs on November 6 has actually no factual basis.
Completely false.
Yan.
That's completely false.
And
So,
it's an imputation of...
it's an allegation of imputation of a crime. That is a serious crime. So that is one of the ways to commit libel.
Yun.
To impute a crime upon a person when it is not true.
Yun. Yun. So, ano yung mga dapat natin bantayan? Imputation of crime. Ano pa? Attorney?
A publication. It's published. So,
Okay,
yeah.
it is published. Oh, yeah, it is published. You impute a crime against a person. Ano pa mga bawal? Para malaman natin yung...
Meron din
ano
ano,
mga
a
akusasyon
crime na
ng
defect.
defect. Okay?
Defect.
Ano yung mga defect? Like,
Malibog. Ganyan.
hindi tumitigas. Defect ba yan?
O ano, malibog o manyak.
Ng bababae. Ganun, no?
Hindi naman kasi crime yung magiging manyak, pero it tarnishes the name or the reputation because it's a defect. It's a morally and socially frowned upon. So mapapahiya yung tao.
Yun. Eh kung yung mga yung mga attack against a family of a person, like mga pamilya ng mga ano yung mga lumang like lepers, mga ganon, mga despicable na mga terminology, defect din doon? Hindi rin yun pwede.
Pwede naman, pero because it is true. Pero kung ginamit mo in a context that is denigrating and diba? Pinapahiya mo sila na wala naman sana. I mean, it's one thing to say that a person is an AIDS victim. Okay? But it's another, it's completely a crime to say that may AIDS yan eh. Yung parang ganun lang. Kaya yan ganyan kasi may AIDS yan. And the AIDS, there is a law that specifically punishes that in relation to AIDS.
Okay.
So that is different. That is a special law for AIDS.
Sige.
But that is also still liable because if it were not AIDS, for example, it's gonorrhea or syphilis. Ganyan. So if it is factual, like you are a doctor and you say this person has syphilis, that's not
imputation.
Or slanderous kung spoken. Dito kasi the difference is that it is published. This one is on the internet. It's published. Which
okay. Ito, not on the Jeffrey case. Pakinggan lang natin a few more bits itong ano ni Walden against the Dutertes. Pakinggan lang natin. Does Sara even have a cause of action to file a case against him?
Isara?
Sara.
Their
Ah, meron
fear
dito.
that they don't have anything to offer, or if they offer something, it's something that people don't like this mandatory military
Not yet.
training that
Not yet.
she has
Not
been
that.
silent about.
The next ano lang.
Since the last weeks that we have criticized her. So it's fear of being exposed to the light of day, and we all know, that all dark creatures,
Dark
creatures
creatures.
that stay in the dark, fear the light of day. And this is what national debates do. They bring people, they show who is really competent and who is not competent. And as I said, the record shows that, Davao City, is not a good place to live in at this point in time. It is the drug center of the South. And the city's
Nakatira ka ba doon, Walden?
drug smuggling, it's an open secret that it is run by a member of the Duterte family.
Ayan. That statement. Okay. Una, as a reaction to this, another is that si Paulo ata, who is the vice mayor of Davao? They
Vice
issued
mayor?
they issued a persona
At
non
that time.
grata. Yeah, no,
At that time.
last April, they issued because of this. They issued him a persona non grata, and then he was also angry about that. Like father, like daughter, like brother. Yun yung kanyang na bakit niyo ako tatawaging persona non grata dito sa Davao? You called Davao that.
Yes.
Sino
Sir,
nga ba yung babae? Yung babae sa Manila, yung nagsabi na mabaho, amoy tae, di ba? Si Claire Danes, dineclare nga ng persona non grata just by calling Manila amoy tae. Di ba? And this statement, okay, but that's Davao. How about
So
persons
if
here?
you can't run your own city, how can you expect to run a country like the Philippines? So no excuses. Show up, and stop being a coward.
Sir, final question from my end, please. Of course, there are observations that you just keep on hitting the unit team, specifically Mayor Duterte, because you want to bring some dent on her candidacy. What can you say about this? Thank you, sir.
The reason that I keep on bringing this up is the same reason that I bring up questions about Senator Soto's performance and Senator Paglinawan's performance, as you witnessed during the Saturday event. That if there are people, that are not fit to run the country or to fit to be vice president, then I have to speak to that. I have to show that. It's my responsibility as to the truth, to in fact say this, because more important than winning this election is being
Going to jail.
telling the truth. And I cannot stand BS. I cannot stand people who show themselves as something that they're really not. And this unit team idea, that let us have national unity. It's silly. You have national unity, built on national amnesia about the nightmare years of the Marcos period, amnesia about the 27,000 people that have been killed under the Duterte regime, subject to
Saan galing
extrajudicial
yan?
execution. So,
CHR and
tama na yung
Rappler.
pagbobola ng Marcos
Eh,
and
Rappler,
Duterte
40,
sa atin.
40,000.
The heat is on.
Hindi, 27 na
I
sila.
can tell you, the heat is on. People are not accepting. They're refusing to participate in debates. And, they'll have to show up. And I think when they show up, then the country will know why these are two fake characters
Fake
that they shouldn't
characters.
be voting
Yeah,
for.
yung mga ganun.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks, Sherry. Next we'll have Jem Avancenia. Go ahead, Jem.
Jem Avancenia.
Hi, Prof. Good afternoon
Yes,
po.
Jem,
Jem
hi.
Avancenia po, TV po.
TV4.
From sa statement po na nilabas ng spokesperson ni Mayor Sara na si Mayor Cristina, sinabi po niya, let me quote po, "Matud pa ni Walden Bello, talawan ko no si Mayor Sara, pero kinsa nila ang nagtago sa mga tawo karong kampanya." And she also said din po na you like to talk and argue over problems daw po without actually solving them. Ano ho yung response ninyo dun sa statement na yon?
Oh, that's a silly statement. I have, really been going around campaigning too. I have been with people just last, Sunday morning. I was with the people of Aroma Tondo that are being in the process of being threatened with eviction by the Ramon Ang group because it wants to build an international container unit in Aroma Tondo, and I was there to show solidarity. Even if I was not campaigning, I would have been there because the important thing was to show solidarity with them. And
Okay. Yun. Kunwari, yun. Si Ramon Ang. Meron siyang cause of action doon?
Wala. That one, no.
Wala rin.
Wala.
Okay lang. Okay. So, merong mga statements na hindi ganun kabigat, ano? Especially kung
Yes.
ikaw ay si Sara, for example, politiko, no?
Meron kasi
Excuse.
mga defenses. For example, meron mga principles din sa libel jurisdiction, jurisprudence ng libel na iba-iba, and it came up in different cases. Now it's a body of principles na ginagamit ng mga courts when they are faced with a libel case. For example, mahirap i-libel yung ibig sabihin ng mahirap i-libel, kahit na sabihin mo lahat ng masamang bagay tungkol sa taong yan, kung yan ang taong yan ay public person, okay, public personality like artista, like public official, yung mga taong who put themselves in the public's eye, ay parang mas kumukonti kasi yung kanilang yung kanilang parang protection on their privacy and on their reputation, kasi humihingi kayo ng attention, tapos ngayon attention comes in various ways, even the bad ones. So kung you put yourself out there to the public and then you solicit their attention, you cannot complain when you get a negative kind of attention, those people who actually hate you or don't like you.
Yes.
So pagka sinabihan ka na, mukha naman yan siyang kalapating taga bola or whatever,
Pwede yun.
Hindi ka pwedeng magreklamo, hindi ka
Dahil politiko ka.
pwede, pero may depensa.
Oo.
Pwede pa rin siyang kasuhan,
Can,
pero may
can you
depensa.
answer this? Can you answer this question by Basal Rush?
Ano yan?
Why are we spending time talking about this person, di ba? Okay. You read him talking about Walden and his run. Why is it important?
Well, I don't want to impose on you what is important, but it is important to us, and we want to talk about it. That's the answer.
Because it's educational. Because we want to know what not to do, di ba? When it comes our time to be the opposition, you'd rather know what not to do, di ba? Kasi itong mga to, di ba? This style doesn't work, di ba? Hindi natin alam kung
Hindi ko mukhang mahihirapan si Walden dito sa kaso niya.
mukha.
Mahihirapan siya dito.
Ayun. And okay. For our final Walden statement night, no? Pagbigyan na natin siya sa kanyang kaibangan. Saan na ba yan? Ito, ha? Simulan lang natin dito. Pakaganda nito statement na to just to show you na it comes from him, it's a pinned tweet. Title na lang, Benras, Don't you know that it is nice to keep your friends close but your enemies closer? Diba? You have to really study what they're saying because this kind of rhetoric is what the other side is getting. You will never understand them if you do not know what is being fed into their minds. How can you be able to communicate or how can you be able to address what they're saying? And you cannot just say na, let them be. That is the most populist of all stands. We are not populists. We are pluralists,
Pluralist.
but we are not elitist. Okay,
We are pluralists, but we are not elitist.
we are not elitist. Okay, so yon, di ba? Ito yung mga klaseng naratiba na pinapasok sa utak ng ating mga kababayan. And we need to find out what they are. Di ba? The country faces 6 years of instability under the coming regime. Manghuhula din pala si Mano. Being an alliance of convenience, the Marcos Duterte dynasty duo will be lucky to survive 1 year. You see? You didn't read this. Don't you see that they have a plan to bring down this administration in just 1 year? Don't you see what is going on right now? As a part of that plan to make this administration not even stand 1 year? Before it is undone by the inevitable infighting over the spoils of office. So they are making sure, really, like this sugars thing. Don't you see? A large sector of the population will refuse to grant legitimacy and credibility to the rule of a family of thieves. They will make sure to make them look like thieves. The government bureaucracy is likely to be split, as will the military. You see? These are all strategies expressed in paper. An electoral base built on the illusion of Marcos delivering his promising everything under the sun will soon generate disappointment. After that, rage.
Itong sinasabi niya is already, well, in my opinion, is already libelous. But Bongbong Marcos wouldn't, give him a time break kasi
Yes.
he's playing into their game. Magpapaapi-api na naman to and then tutulong na naman yung UN and all that stuff. So, these things are already libelous. Pero, yun nga, hindi naman laging kailangan patulan yan, lalo na kung presidente ka, vice president ka. Pero when it is a private person that files a case, there is really it's really not a defense to say na empleyado naman ng public person mali yun. Diba? Which is what Maria Ressa is also saying, na yung nagpakulong sa kanya ay si King, pero ang ina-accuse niya ng nagpapakulong sa kanya ay yung gobyerno ni Duterte.
Yeah.
Kasi ang gobyerno, yung prosecutor daw kasi ay empleyado ng gobyerno. Ay, diba? So, that's a stretch and they will say all of these things just to get out of this case, but they can't. There is already a decision which is closely like this, yung kay Maria Ressa nga.
But hindi sila magkakasundo because this guy is also against the elitists. Diba? Sabi niya dito, bloating stupid reactionary elites, these assholes have overreached and created the conditions for the inevitable coming together. So, you see, this guy will never be supported by the likes of ICIJ, Maria Ressa, so they do not come together. So, now you know that Maria Ressa is not also communist. That's why they will not ever.
Now, she's on the far side
Yes.
of the spectrum. Yung talagang komunista to si Walden.
Right? So, it's important to see what they're saying. And it is important to know exactly what he did to merit whatever he will be facing in the legal in his future legal battles. And pag hindi kasi natin alamin at hindi natin pakinggan at hindi nga na alam ng halos lahat kung ano yung talagang mismo niyang sinabi at naging basihan ng kanyang pagkakulong, di ba?
At saka remember that many people really don't know Walden Bello.
Hmm.
Kami nga taga-UP, hindi namin siya masyadong kilala dahil hindi naman siya profesor.
Libro ko yan.
Pero tumakbo siya as a candidate. And many people didn't vote for him kasi yun nga, nanira kasi yan eh. Pero they didn't really know how or how he did it. So this one is a kind of education to people when they say something about Bello or something negative about him, that they are in fact correct because they have heard us or watched us discuss it. So
Yeah.
importante siya dahil public candidate siya eh. And they are attacking the government. So
Ang tanong,
we
will he-
we the
with this
citizens have
age-
the right to answer them.
with his age, will he still be put to jail? Di ba meron tayong
Ilang taon na ba siya?
Well, I do not know. Really.
Pwede pa rin naman siyang kasuhan, pero depende yan kung makukulong pa siya o hindi. That's another question that the court will have to resolve.
Like Erap, right? Erap was given kumbaga parang after 60 ba yan? Ano ba yung rule yan, attorney?
65 yata.
Mhm. So pag naging 65 na tayo, pwede na tayo mag-commit ng kahit anong crime na gusto natin?
No, hindi pa rin. You still cannot do crimes because they will still arrest you and detain you and try you. Pero baka hindi ka na makukulong. So, di ba? Hindi pa rin.
Yun. But we have to know because this guy has a following, no? And if you want to save the rest of the country from falling prey into this kind of rhetoric, you must know what it is. And who knows, that person you may need to save is your cousin, your brother, or your sister, or your child later on.
Hindi
Who
kasi
will be
natin alam.
indoctrinated into this kind of narrative. And the people who believe this, they really believe this.
Well, even if we are not
Violence.
talking about Walden Bello,
Oh.
we need to know the dynamics of the law and our freedom to express and to publish. Kasi we are all now online, and the things that we say when we are posting, every single time we post or we even comment, we are potentially facing a libel case. So if you do not prepare yourself for that eventuality, then
Yeah.
diba?
Mhm. And this is the kind of declarations that they will use to indoctrinate your children. This kind of talk. Nagsisimula lang yan siya. Okay? Isa lang dyan. Minimum wage. Paglaban ng minimum wage. Sisimula sa mga ganyan. Pagbubuwag ng manpower agency. Maraming
Actually,
makakaano dyan.
Yung
Ganyan
minimum
yung
wage, for
indoctrination.
example, pag sinuri kasi ako, komunista ako mas malala pa ako dito kay Walden Bello noon. But when I graduated law, nag-aral-aral ako ng konti, tiningnan ko yung mga rhetoric ko noong araw. Ano ba, minimum wage. Habang naglulo ako, meron akong mga naging sa OLA, sa Office of Legal Aid, mga kliyente na mga indigent na napupunta sa amin, mga estudyante. We were allowed to practice law while we are still studying. Na mga laborers. At saka sa dami-dami nila, walang nagrereklamo ng minimum wage because wala na yatang tao ngayon na hindi binabayaran ng
Sakada na lang.
Yung mga sakada kasi, parang hindi sila kasi laborer they are agricultural laborers, and then the labor law excludes them because there are many things, many reasons. Like for example, if you have less than 20 employees, the labor code will not apply to you if you're the employer. So the people who do not want to pay their employees fairly will just have to employ less than 20 employees. So wala nang lumalabas na na katotohanan itong minimum wage na ganyan because the government, the regional line agencies of government are always checking on the on their obligation of watching the minimum wage of people in their areas. So part na kasi siya ngayon ng obligasyon ng local government at saka ng national government in the regions na bantayan lagi yung minimum wage. So wala na talagang katotohanan yung allegation na minimum wage.
So, paano yun? Ay, motor na eh.
Ha?
Section 9. Section 9.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah, kaya nga. But this is what law is this? What law is this? Is that the labor code?
No.
No, exactly. So the labor code does not apply to them. It's a
No,
it's a special
but-
law.
Yeah, but this one gives them
Ginagaya
higher
lang
than
yung-
minimum wage.
A minimum wage is not in the labor law. It's not in the labor code. It's a
Yes.
special law.
But whatever is the minimum wage, okay? In whatever is the minimum wage, in addition to the minimum wage, the proceeds of any increase from the output of the sakahan ng mga sakada, meron na naman silang increase doon.
Tingnan mo,
Therefore,
tingnan mo.
their minimum is the minimum wage.
Yeah, yun lang yung basehan. Yun lang, binabase lang.
Kaya nga, pero di ba,
Kasi
they don't
these
even
people
get it.
These people
don't
are
get it.
special kinds of of laborers because kagaya niyan, meron silang share sa participation sa pag-increase ng output.
Yes.
Hindi naman ganyan yung mga yung mga laborer sa SM. Gano'n
No.
silang
Wala
ganong
silang
benefit.
per piece na kumbaga pag nagkaroon ng magandang income, meron silang share doon.
Benta.
Wala.
Wala. Hindi ganyan lang sa SM, sa mga malls, hindi naman ganyan. And those are the laborers that are most most likely to file labor cases, and it's no longer based on minimum wage kasi
Kaya
lahat
nga.
ng tao halos
Ang
binabayaran
sakada ay merong karapatan to not only the minimum wage, kahit ano pa, the benefits granted to the laborers in sugar plantation under this act and the minimum wage law shall not in any way be diminished by such labor contracts known as by piece, by volume, by area, or by any other system pakyaw. Ito kaya yung pinagpapatayan. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit nagpapatayan. Dahil hindi ito nai-implement.
Hacienda Luisita, ganun din yan
Yung mga massacre, yung mga negros, this is the cause of death. Because this part of the law has never been implemented. Ang ini-implement lang dito na parte ay yung parte ng mga hatian ng mill at saka ni haciendero, but not yung para sa sakada. Okay? Pero yan ba ay nabe-verbalize ng mga makakaliwang grupo? Hindi naman. Diba? Hindi na ata nila alam yan.
They don't get around to explaining this minimum wage allegation.
Yan. Hanggang dyan lang sila. Minsan kailangan pa man samantalang matras para lubos na masuri ang buong pangyayari. Then makita ang katotohanan ng nakadildil sa ating mga mukha. Gamitin ang panahon ito para magdiskurso, hindi lang para sa common na interpretasyon ng konkretong realidad, kundi upang may takda ang pinaka-epektibong mga paraan para baguhin ito. Okay. Yes.
Yung itong mga ganitong hirit kasi, itong mga to, it's not really, while they talk about fighting for the rights of laborers and the peasants and the sakadas, this is really just propaganda because the objective of the Communist Party is to mount a revolution that is an armed revolution that is working from the outskirts of the country to the middle, to the government centers. So all of these things is just the propaganda part of the communist insurgency. So they're really not serious about this. Their participation in government is also just a legal front for the actual and the most important part of the movement of communist revolution. Kaya itong siniserve ni Walden Bello dito for the Communist Party is polemics. Pero banu to si Walden Bello eh. Mas magaling sa polemics yung mga matatanda na eh, sina
Si,
yung
si
mga
ano
ano,
mismo? Joma
yung mga
mismo.
sipiriwan. Oh, yeah, si
Joma
John
mismo.
Bishop.
Joma is a very good writer. Very
Yung mga
good speaker.
sikmarawan, yung mga sikmarawan na kinulong.
Hmm.
Yun yung mga gagaling na polemics, sa polemics. It's just rhetoric. Yung polemic, para lang din yung ginagawa ni Reza. It's a propaganda, but polemics is a propaganda with the invitation to rise up and fight, which is now a kind of sedition. It's a seditious action. So, pero may mga magagaling na polemicist tayo dito, sina di ba itong kalimutan ko yung mga pangalan. Pero magagaling talaga magsalita. Pag nakinig ka, parang si Martin Luther King, mga ganyan. Magaling magsalita. Kita si Walden, Amerikano, may paslampay, may pa
Oh, ang galing mag-English.
kung
If you go to his go to his page, you will see there he's also promoting his incident, yung mga pictures niya na binubugbog siya ng mga pulis sa US. Hindi naman Pilipino. Hindi naman pa nga Pilipino ang nagbugbog sa kanya. Yun. So, to see Basal Ras. Okay, you're very welcome here, Basal Ras. Gusto mo sumuporta sa ating site, nandiyan yung ating Gcash number sa baba. Kung nag-enjoy ka dito. Yeah, this is not about plantations. We don't really just focus on plantations. We focus on social issues too. Saying things differently. See, like banana scandal between US and Latin America. What is this banana scandal? Are you familiar with this
I'm
story?
not familiar with that. What happened there,
Kanina kasi, no. What's the banana scandal?
Bigyan mo na link si Oseng para magpaliwanag yan siya.
Hindi, okay lang. I was seeing this kanina and then I wanted to flash it but you were
Kasi
you were
magka-type pa yan.
discussing. No.
Baka gusto niya sabihin
159 na eh. 159 na eh. Next time also you tell us about this banana
Magalas.
scandal because it's I think you're into a nice subject matter there.
O,
Sino
kwentuhan
pa
mo
to?
kami.
Yes, kwento mo kami about banana scandal. We put you on there. Any publicity is good. Yon. Any good publicity, bad publicity, that's publicity for them. Okay? Maswerte si Drilon, napakulang. Yun, no? Did anybody care about Boy Mejorana?
No,
Tingin
wala.
ko-
Nobody is making noise for him.
Tingin ko nga mas may saysay pa yung kwento ni Boy Mejorana eh. He was not just able to defend himself properly also. Pero mukhang, kung titingnan mo ayoko nang mapapasama sa kanya dun sa kulungan. No?
Hindi naman.
So,
Nakaso.
hindi, ayoko nang dagdagan na sabihin pa na tama siya, di ba? But the reason for persona non grata ni Walden Bello because he entered session hall of Davao, sat on the... Not that? Oh! Bastos naman.
Ginawa nga niya yan. Umupo siya doon na parang syunga.
Yeah, there is a website actually, no, I think waldenbello.org. I posted it eh. May link doon or may sinabi ako na site. You go to that and you read it and he is apparently the one who wrote it. He was so proud of his escapades in different countries. Kung saan binugbog siya ng mga pulis doon, kinulong siya.
Proud na
Hindi
proud
lang
pa siya.
hindi proud na proud siya. And sino pa ba dito? Allegations about Davao? Yeah. No? Anyway, ano pa ba? Sabi ni Francisco, si Walden putak ng putak, parang hindi halata na pulahan. Do you know the word pulahan?
He's a vigilante group in Mindanao and it's really not applicable to him.
Yes. In fact, the real pulahan is not the one in... Iba pa yung sa Mindanao.
Yung pulahan yung in the 1800s, in the 1700s when they
Sa ano
una
to?
pa sa mga Spanyol
Samar.
yan eh.
Samar.
Nauna pa sa mga Spanyol, but they came to notoriety in the time of the Americans dahil lumalaban din sila sa mga kano.
Pero Osing, nakita mo naman siguro yung malis, yung malis is very clear. Okay? Yung pulahan, magandang kwento yan.
Maganda rin yung kwento niya.
Alam mo ba na hindi na, sabi ni,
Lumaban din sila sa mga Spaniards eh.
Did they?
Yung mga pulahan.
The only account that I had about them is yung dito sa Samar in the 1920s.
Yung mga kano,
Yes.
yung na sobrang bad trip ng mga kano minasakir nila.
Hindi sila nanood lang sila habang minamasakir ng pulahan. Yung mga right in front of the gates of the barracks of the US Army. And they wouldn't move. They wouldn't dare.
So yun yung palangiga?
Iba pa yan.
Part yan ng palangiga story.
Baka related, no? Kasi di ba
kasi yung
inubos sila doon?
Yung mga pulahan kasi, they're a band of misfits na mga sundang, mga itak, mga baril din. Tapos maglalakad yan sila. Lahat ng madaanan nila, i-recruit nila sa pulahan. Pag umayaw ka, papatayin yung buong pamilya mo.
Yun. At kung sasali ka, to prove that you are really going to join them, you have to kill one of your family members, o sa anak mo, tatay mo. And they were doing this in front of the US Army's base, and they wouldn't budge.
Nanonood lang sila. Why?
Because mag-election sa Amerika, and kapag lumabas sila sa kanilang quarters, mapipilitang i-justify what's going on, and sasabihin daw ng mga Amerikano, hindi pa pala tapos yung gera dyan, matatalo yung presidente. Kaya, nag-resign yung judge na nandun sa kabilang nagtatago. At siya yung nagsulat ng
libro.
That is
Anong pangalan
Judge
niya?
Blount.
Si Blount.
Yo. Find that book. Uy, thank you, Mami Basang. Thank you.
Yung pulahan,
So I hope
they're not CPP. During the time of Correo Aquino, nagkaroon uli ng revival ng pulahan, pero it was
a different group.
Vigilante group na may mga anting-anting din sila, hindi daw sila tinatablan ng bala, ganyan, tapos may mahahaba silang itak. Copying the original pulahan.
Mga sandanista ba to? Mga overthrow government.
Tubo yata yung pinag-uusapan doon sa mga Sandinista.
But similarly, yung mga Sandanista issue is this brewing story about 4 nuns being indicted for financing the NPA. That's going to be the next hot thing. Madre naman yung kasunod nating Kaya in Twitter, I was inviting this priest who calls himself Sparikoy. He's now being touted as the troll buster of the Catholic Church. So I was making an open invitation. Why don't you join us in AGP and JP? Nilagyan ko pa nga ng link for this one. Panoorin mo to, Father. Baka gusto mong i-assess kung kami ay mga troll o baka yung sinusundan nyo or yung mga iniidolo nyo. But respectfully, Father, if you want to come and talk to us and discuss, accuse us of being trolls, we will have a nice and healthy discussion. You can even bring your crowd also to join us. Even if you want Walden to join us, you can. Anyone. We can debate. We are not exclusive here. Maayong buntag from Cruz-Angeles. Yep. Meron pa ba tayong mga kailangang habol? Pulahan ang NPA, get rights, owning land, okay. Father Balweg. Balweg. Yan si Balweg. Bata pa ako niyan. Cebu ba to si Balweg? No?
Hindi.
North. Sa North to si Balweg. Sa Cebu, sino yung Redemptorist? Okay. There was also a Redemptorist priest in Cebu. Kasi ito si Father Paricoy, is a Redemptorist priest.
Ang
Good,
Redemptorist,
thank you,
progressive
Jose.
sila.
Mm. At sila yung mga involved dun sa mga South American issues, no? Or Jesuits yun. Jesuits.
Jesuits yun, Jesuits.
Jesuits yung mga
Yung
Sandinista.
liberation theology. Yan si ano, si Pope yung
Francis.
si
Pope Francis.
Bergioni.
Yeah.
Siya yung
Liberation.
liberation theology.
Yeah, si Balweg is a nice story. Yep. May movie to si Balweg, no? And,
Maganda rin
magaling.
pag-usapan yan, Balweg.
Yeah. How do you turn priests and nuns into revolutionaries?
May
Diba?
ninong ako, isang ninong na naging NPA talaga, namatay siya sa encounter. Pare.
Is this Father? This is named Father.
Yan. Si Parekoy, yan yun.
Hindi, with all due respect, if you know him, invite him here. We'd like to discuss. Kami ni Ahmed, we come from the Catholic Media Network. We are not disrespectful to priests. Yep. My uncle is a bishop. He was a former seminarian.
I am a former seminarian and now I am Satan.
All right. I have one uncle who is a Jesuit. Kasi kapatid ng daddy ko. One who was a bishop. They're both dead. They were old. They're too old. And two
May
nuns.
mother pa kayo. May
Two
mother
nuns.
pa kayo, di ba? Oh,
Yeah, two. So, Father Albert will be safe here. We will not disrespect him. Please tell him he's cordially invited to talk, to be face to face with the trolls, quote unquote. Ano pa? Meron pa bang mga hahabol dyan? Thank you, Kai. Sino pa itong humabol? Daming humabol Touché. Thank you. Right.
Salamat po.
So, ano ba tayo? Rock? Ano?
Rock.
Tayo. Doon tayo mag-rock. Ano yung may pahabol pa ba doon na sinasabi? Wala na.
Wala na naman.
So, thank you sa inyo lahat sa pagsusubaybay. Sana nag-enjoy kayo last night. Umabot ng 3 oras. Ngayon, nakto lang tayo sa ating oras.
Nabasa mo yung yung sinulat ni Sas? Pinost niya.
Pinost ko rin. Sabi ko lang, one comment about Sibiri. galing nun.
Good. May output si Sas kagad sa discussion.
Ang galing. Yung mga hindi natin ginagawa dahil tamad tayo.
Tama tayong magsulat eh. Sinasabi na lang natin.
You know.